In the heart of the 14th century, a darkness descended upon Europe. This was no ordinary twilight, but the relentless advance of the Black Death, a devastating plague that would forever alter the course of history. The year was 1347, and the disease, borne on the backs of merchant ships from the east, began to ravage the bustling ports of Sicily. As the first victims succumbed to the disease, fear spread faster than the plague itself, and panic gripped the populace. In the once vibrant city of Florence, Italy, the air was filled with whispers of a terrible affliction. The streets, usually teeming with life, lay eerily quiet, as citizens huddled within their homes, shielding themselves from the terrifying specter of death. The Black Death did not discriminate. It claimed the rich and the poor, the young and the old, the learned and the illiterate. In the midst of this chaos, the fabric of society began to unravel. The once thriving economy of Florence ground to a halt as businesses closed and trade came to a standstill. The city's wealthiest citizens, fearing for their lives, fled, leaving behind a city devoid of both wealth and leadership. In the absence of authority, a vacuum began to form. The poor, who had long been oppressed, saw an opportunity to claim a piece of the power that had been denied to them for so long. Led by Girolamo Savonarola, a Dominican friar, the lower classes rose up against the ruling elite. They demanded justice, equality, and an end to the corruption that had long plagued their city. The rebellion, initially met with resistance, soon gained momentum. The terrified remaining nobility, desperate to maintain what little power they had left, were forced to negotiate with the masses. The resulting compromise was a radical shift in the power dynamics of Florence. The wealthy were forced to share their wealth with the poor, and the corrupt practices that had long been the norm were abolished. The Black Death, a harbinger of death and destruction, had inadvertently sparked a social revolution. It had forced society to confront its flaws and, in doing so, had paved the way for a new, more equitable order. Yet, even as the plague began to recede, its impact lingered. The once thriving city of Florence would never return to its former glory. The scars left by the Black Death would serve as a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the power of the people. In the years that followed, the city would continue to evolve, shaped by the events of the past. But the memory of the Black Death, and the societal changes it had wrought, would never be forgotten. The Black Death had not only ravaged the bodies of its victims but had also left an indelible mark on the soul of Florence. It had shaken the foundations of society and had forced people to question the very nature of power and authority. And so, it was in the shadows of the Black Death that a new era was born, an era defined by change, by upheaval, and by the indomitable spirit of the human will. The plague may have taken many lives, but it had also given birth to a new way of thinking, a new way of living, and a new way of being. In the end, the Black Death was not just a plague, but a catalyst for change. It had ripped away the veil of complacency that had shrouded society for centuries, revealing the raw, unfiltered power of the human spirit. And though the disease may have been vanquished, its legacy would live on, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unyielding force of change.